You're tuning into Black and White Sports on YouTube. The no-holds-barred truth on sports. The main event starts now.
I'm back, Rudrance, for Black and White Sports 2. Well, we're going to talk about Saints superstar tight end Jimmy Graham, and he's, I guess you could say, at the end of his days in the NFL. He just re-signed with the Saints. That's, of course, the team that he had his greatest success with. And he's really at the end of his career. I think a lot of people thought maybe he was signing there hoping to play. And part of me believes he signed there just because he was ready to sort of call it a day. But now something more troubling has emerged involving Jimmy Graham. A hell of a good tight end. Not going to be a Hall of Famer, but is a 5-time Pro Bowler, 1-time All-Pro, and has a shit ton of receptions, a whole lot of yards in his career that would be impressive for even a lot of wide receivers. But again, he's a tight end. This is TMZ. Jimmy Graham arrested. The team says the tight end suffered a medical episode. Jimmy Graham's NFL comeback has hit a roadblock. The New Orleans Saints tight end was arrested on suspicion of being under the influence of a controlled substance Friday night after cops say they saw him wandering in traffic. TMZ has learned law enforcement responded to a call for a suspicious person acting erratically near a Southern California resort. He must have been acting awfully erratically to be called about that in California. I mean, isn't that pretty commonplace on the streets out there? I mean, I don't know in the area he's at, maybe not. At the scene, cops claim they witnessed Graham walking in the streets and that they attempted to arrest him, but he resisted. The 36-year-old was eventually taken into custody for suspicion of being under the influence of a controlled substance and resisting, delaying, and obstructing an officer, both misdemeanors. Graham has since been released. The incident is currently under investigation. FYI, the Saints are in town in preparation for a preseason matchup with the Chargers on Sunday and spent part of their training camp in joint practice with the upcoming opponent earlier this week. In fact, Graham commented on a video chatting with former quarterback Drew Brees during Friday's practice at Jack Hammett Sports Complex in Costa Mesa. Graham has played for the Saints, Seahawks, Packers, and Bears over his 12-year career and is slated to return this season after setting out 2022. He signed a 1-year deal to return to New Orleans in July. Graham has 713 career catches, 8,500 receiving yards, and 85 touchdowns. He is a 5-time Pro Bowler, 2-time All-Pro, and they reached out to the Saints, and in true TMZ fashion, they put the update at the top. The Saints just addressed the Graham's arrest, saying the tight end experienced a, quote, medical episode Friday night, which resulted in him becoming disoriented. After he was taken into custody, the team says Graham was sent to a nearby hospital to get checked out. The Saints added Graham likely suffered a seizure and spent the night in the medical facility to receive further testing. He is now back with the team. We broke the story. Graham was arrested for suspicion under the influence of a controlled substance and resisting, delaying, obstructing a police officer. Okay, so they're saying that maybe he had a seizure, and in the aftermath of the seizure, I will tell you this. I had a guy that worked for me back in the day that used to have seizures out on our production floor. And after he would have it, he would become very disoriented, didn't know exactly where he was, didn't necessarily know who you were initially. If he was out actually walking, or if you got up and allowed him to walk, he would have just been all over the place, okay? Seizures are very serious, and in fact, point of fact, the guy I'm referring to is dead now because of a seizure. Sad thing, left work, went down for lunch at a Sonic that was up on a hill, had a seizure in his car, went off in the traffic, boom, dead. I mean, just like that. No kidding. And a very, very sad situation. Seizures can be very, very dangerous. Maybe that is what happened here. They seem to, the Saints sort of worded that like this is a condition that he's been dealing with. We don't know. Maybe he was under the influence of a controlled substance of some kind. But if he had had a seizure, it certainly could have been confused for being under the influence. Could certainly bring on erratic behavior, somewhat belligerent, combative, possibly. That's very possible. It is. So I don't know exactly what happened here. Now, he's trying, like I said in the beginning, he's trying to get some playing time in, and he is hoping to play this season. But there's also the thought process of if he doesn't make the season, he'll just retire with the team he started with. Okay, there he is, back with the Saints. He said he's gotten offers I saw from several other playoff teams. Didn't even play last year. So, one of these guys that if he could have just gotten a Super Bowl ring and maybe made up that 10,000 yard mark as a tight end, I tell you what, you're getting into Hall territory at that point. But I think, Pro Football Reference did not show a Super Bowl. I went back to check because I couldn't remember. Did he win a Super Bowl with Drew Brees? I'm thinking the Saints won that Katrina Super Bowl, which would have been for the 2009 season. I think he came in and started in the 2010 season, the very next season. I'm sure Saints fans, if they're going to be like, what do you mean you don't remember Jimmy Graham? I don't remember Jimmy Graham being on that. I don't know why. I almost think it was Ben Watson, but I may be wrong about that. It's been a while. Okay, so tell me what you think. Peace. I'm out. Till next time.
Thanks for watching the show. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Be sure to tune in next time on Black and White Sports.